Hello, everyone. Welcome to spring, April showers, wonderful weather, and we get outside and actually use our programs in a different way of engagement. Today, what we want to do is we're going to do a real quick update on what we have, and then I'm going to introduce Donna, and then we're going to turn it over to Yolanda and Suzanne and Jess to go over the skill sets that we sent. First and foremost, our next meeting regarding the RFA is Tuesday, May 3rd from 8 to 10 a.m. Don't panic if you can't make that. We have many more, and Erica puts those every Friday in her newsletter, along with other really important information. And if you're not receiving that newsletter for some reason, please let us know. Next, if you were on Donna's team or she was assisting you in any way, please contact the department. Any of you can contact us anytime. We do encourage that, and we like building relationships and helping you. But if you were on Donna's team and in any way or needed assistance in any way and usually went to Donna, please give us a call directly or an email directly, and we will help you out. So in saying that, one thing we really receive a lot of questions on are partnerships and other ways we can engage our learners. And we're going to talk real quickly with Donna Russell from the Alabama Arts Alliance. And what she's going to do is talk to you about a new exciting feature they have. So Donna, welcome. Thanks for being here.
Thanks, Annette. Thanks, everyone. I hope everyone's having a good afternoon. I appreciate you asking us to come on. I know, Annette, you and Andy Meadows have had a conversation that kind of prompted this, but I just wanted to briefly let you all know about a platform called Artlook Alabama. It is funded by the Alabama State Department of Education, and we're working with them in partnership to administer it. Artlook is a platform where schools can search for arts, teaching artists, and arts organizations. It's also a platform where we'll be collecting some data from schools. All Alabama schools will eventually be uploaded onto this platform, but right now we're in the process of uploading teaching artists and arts organizations. So anybody can go out onto the platform. You guys can go out onto the Artlook platform, and Annette will send you the link so people can look for that. But you can search it for teaching artists and arts organizations, like I said. And if you wanted a teaching artist who perhaps would teach dance, but also integrate it with math or science, you can search for it in there, and it'll match you up with artists or arts organizations who do that work. We're really looking forward to having a robust list of teaching artists and arts organizations on there. But I think this would be really helpful to you guys, because there should be eventually a lot of teaching artists on there. You know how those teaching artists will only be let onto the map, if you will, or into the map once they either submit a new background check, or they have a background check that's 6 months old or less. So they'll be pre-vetted, so you don't have to do that, depending on what your school's policies are, of course. But that's kind of it in a nutshell. It's just going to be a great way for everybody to connect with artists and teaching artists, and they'll be from around the entire state.
Donna, I did have a chance to look at it. It is amazing and will help us immensely in finding people in our local area that can work within our programs, and that you have vetted for us, which is wonderful too, with the background check and things like that. So we appreciate it. And I will send that link out once you're ready to send it to me. It's all up and running, and we will definitely check back with you in the fall about maybe coming back on and going through some of the artists with us.
That's great. That's great. Well, thank you again. And thank you all for all the work that you do. It's amazing.
Thank you.
I appreciate you.
All
guys.
right.
Bye.
Thank you. One other thing I need to mention is we are looking for TAs. So if you know anybody who's the school year is getting ready to end and they're going for retirement, but not sure they want to totally retire, please have them get in touch with us so we can add them to our list of people to interview at the end of the school year. So please share that information. Now I'm going to turn it over to the one and only, if you can see her, famous guru, Miss Yolanda. Take it over.
Thank you, Annette. I feel like you're my cheerleader. Hi, welcome to the afternoon office hours. Today we have with us Suzanne Stone, and she has her colleague Jess with her, and they're going to talk about the kits that you all received in February or March that we provided to you all to use with your students within your at the school program. Suzanne is our contact person within this region. I'm sure she will provide you with her contact information. She's the physical activity specialist for Scholastic. So if you have any questions as it relates to how to implement the program or the kits that you have, she will be able to provide you with that information. Take it away, Suzanne.
Hey, hello everybody. I'm so glad to be here with you today. And I am going to help you in any way needed. So I will provide my information. And if you guys just want activity handouts from sessions that we do, or if you have questions that pop up down the road, I'm always here. But as Yolanda said, I have brought in the big guns today. I have our National Accounts Manager, Jess Wadley. She is a fantastic person and a friend, and she's going to be able to show you in a very short time how to implement Scholastics in the best way. And be careful though, because she's not Southern. She's going to talk faster than we do. So anyway, I'm so glad to have her here, and she is going to really do a great job, I know, because she's awesome. Thank you, Jess. You can take it away, Jess.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Thanks everyone for the opportunity to be here today, just to help you further with operating your Scholastics kits. Just to have a little background on me, I was a PE teacher, grades K through 8. I did after school programming and also ran multi-sports camps for 13 years. I use Scholastics in all 3 of those settings. It's a phenomenal resource. So I'm excited that you all have it and that you're able to implement this with your kids to get them excited and moving with physical activity. And then also to implement, obviously, the SEL piece with your STEM too. So what I'm going to do, we've got about 30 minutes. I'm going to just quickly show you your kits to give you a quick visual again, in case any of you haven't seen them fully. We will then dive into how do you operate the kits, and then also give you a quick glimpse too in your dashboard. If we haven't set up dashboards yet, we'll need to do that following this call. We'll figure out a time to get that together so that all staff has access to their dashboards, which gives you additional resources to work with your Scholastics kits. So before we do that though, I like, it's a little bit later in the day. I like to kind of activate both sides of the brain. Some of you may have seen this before. What I'd like everyone to do is free up your hands. I want you to take one hand and I want you to point your index finger straight forward. And then I want to take your other hand and I want you to give me a thumbs up. Now, when I say switch, you're going to switch so that your thumb turns into your index finger and your index finger turns into your thumb. Ready? We're going to start out nice and slow. Switch, switch, switch. For those of you getting it down a little bit quicker, ready? Switch, 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 switch. Nice. All right, good job. So from those that I could see, I did see smiles. I saw some, struggles, this and that, but that is an example of one of our quick hitter, brain boost, brain break, instant activity. There's all these different names for these, but that is something that we provide in there again as one of our instant activities on how do we grab kids' attention. You notice they're kind of, maybe wandering off, they're not paying attention. Oh, everybody thumbs up, pointer finger, switch, switch, switch. All right, so again, just a quick hitter for you. All right, so I'm gonna jump right in. I know we have limited time here. I'm gonna share my screen with you. And Scholastics kits. Okay, so as you probably know, we have a wide variety of kits, everything from fitness to sports skills. We have ones that operate math individually and obviously the STEM. You guys have the Characters Cool Kit and you have the STEM Scholastics kit. Those are your 2 flares on how to operate or how to the Scholastics kits that you have. Now, it's important to note that as you start to get comfortable with using these with your kids, they all operate the same way. That's one of the great things about Scholastics is that every single kit has the same technique. It's just different flares, different lessons, things like that. Okay, so with your Characters Cool Kit, you're going to have a character trait that is associated with every physical activity so that we're incorporating character learning with then the physical activity. When you look at your STEM kit, we have the physical activity, but the kids are learning STEM as well. So they have STEM question cards while they're doing these games and these different activities. Okay, so how exactly do we play Scholastics? Let me share this with you. First thing that you're going to do when you open up your bag, inside that bag, you have a large mat. It's 4 feet by 6 feet. It's big. It's like a big tarp. It looks like Twister Monopoly. The kids go crazy over it. They get really excited. You've got 6 miniature mats. You have a stack of task cards. You have your instruction manual, and you have dice and bean bags that match each team color. So when you empty that bag out, that's what's in the bag. Now, the first thing that you're going to do is take that big mat, show it to the kids. They get all excited, and then you're just going to fold it up and put it away. And your kids are going to go, what are you doing? Why aren't we playing that game? And that is just to get them excited about playing Scholastics. But before they can play Scholastics, there's a bunch of steps we need to do first. They're going to learn all these activities with task cards. You're going to do that through our lessons and through different activities that we provide for you through the dashboard. But when we get to that end result and the kids are playing Scholastics with the big mat, how do we play that? How do we set that up? So first, we're going to take that big mat and we're going to set it in the middle of your play area, whether you're outside, in a gym, multi-purpose room, put that in the center. Then you're taking your 6 miniature mats that replicate the large mat and you're placing them as far away as you want from the big mat. Okay, you can have up to 100 kids moving with this. You're just putting them into 6 teams. Once they're in their 6 teams by those miniature mats, you need to do a couple things. Okay, first, you need to give them their team color so they know which die and beanbag to run up to. Okay, secondly, you need to tell them the repetition color that they're doing for that activity. So you can see that on every one of these activities that are placed around the board, on the bottom of those activities is a blue, red, and green number: beginner, intermediate, advanced repetitions. So I always start them off on blue. I will yell out to all my students, everybody, no matter what you land on, we're doing the blue number. Okay, so now they know no matter what they land on, we're doing blue repetitions. Okay, the last thing that you want to do is you want to point these arrows out to them. Now, I know you can see this is the fitness Scholastics, but again, like I said, they all have the same technique. So you're going to operate it the same way with your STEM and with your character. So point out those arrows on the mat. They know exactly which way they're working around the mat so we don't have any collisions. Okay, and then one last thing, have every team number off so they know who's going first, second, third, and so forth. Once you have that set, you're going to turn the music on, and the first player from each team is going to race up to the mat, roll their dice, move their beanbag onto an activity, and then they're going to run back to their group yelling the number in the upper right-hand corner. Why are they doing that? Because their entire team has a reference mat. So as that child's running back to the mat, they're going to be looking, what's number 20? What's number 20? Oh, it's a curl down. As soon as their teammate gets back, the entire team does the activity together for that amount of repetition. So they would do 3 curl ups, and then the next kid runs up to the mat, rolls the dice, next activity. Now, a common question that I usually get is, do they go in order? Is it one team at a time? No, everybody goes at the same time. So the first player from each team is running up at the same time, roll the dice, go back, everybody's moving. Why? Because we want this to be 100% participation. All right, we want everybody moving. No, we don't want any fighting. We don't want any problems with people standing in lines. We want to get them going. Okay. So as they're working their way around the mats, they're having fun. And at some point, these kids are going to ask you, well, how do you win this? Right? We get this little competitive edge. Couple ways you can win this. Okay. First team to go all the way around the board, passing their start point and finishing the activity, that is the winning team. You're looking at a very quick activity, 5 minutes, maybe 10 minutes at most. All right. And so you're looking at that more as like a warm up, instant activity, something as a quick hitter. For me in my programming, I wanted this to go at least 30 to 40 minutes. So what you can do is you can take a handful of paper clips, put them in your pocket, and every time a team passes their start point, that child from that team is going to run up to you and ask you for a paper clip. Hand them a paper clip, and they're going to keep collecting paper clips as they work their way around the board. At the end of 30 minutes, 40 minutes, whenever you want to stop the play, the team with the longest chain of paper clips is the winning team. Okay, so again, just different options. There's other ways you can make it competitive, but those are some quick hitters on how you can do it for a short amount of time or a long amount of time. Okay, now, if you have academic cards like your STEM kit, how does that integrate into this? What you're going to do is each team gets their own set of STEM question cards, and they're going to place those on the miniature mats. Orange team will have orange cards. Red team will have red cards. They're all going to be placed on their miniature mats. When they play, same as before, the child runs up to the mat, rolls the dice, lands on an activity, comes back, and when they come back to their group, they do the activity, but when they're done, this is where they learn the STEM. The person who rolled the dice gets to be the teacher of the moment. They look at the border color of the activity that they just completed. So if they just did a curl down and they all finished, the person that rolled the dice looks at the activity and says, oh, I have to pull from the green category card. If they're the orange team, they look at the corner. On the STEM cards, you can see here, they're all across the bottom. It's easy to see the colors of the cards. So that person would choose from that category. Let's say the border color was green, it would be an engineering question. If it's a purple border, it's a math question. If it's a green border, it's a science question. And if it's a red border, it's a technology question. As you guys progress with this, if you do want to connect with your classroom teachers, we do have a custom card download. That is something where you can give that to classroom teachers. They can fill out the questions and you can start customizing your cards so that the kids in your after school program can be studying for their upcoming test in school. Right now, you guys have general questions. They're great. They come with the kit. Get the kids going, get them learning STEM concepts. And if you want to customize that later on, you can. Okay, so that is how your STEM cards work with the kits. If you ever dip into fitness and nutrition, same way. Fitness Scholastics works with the nutrition cards, and same thing. They have these little colors on the cards that match the border colors for your other questions. Okay, so everything is super organized, nice and easy. Now, before the kids can play the full Scholastics, they have to learn all 26 activities around the mat. How do we do that? Task cards. Okay, we have lessons with these. We have games that you can play with these. You spend time with the task cards doing station work, games, activities. Now the kids know the activities and now they're ready to play. Okay, seeing a chat here. Okay, just people coming in, perfect. Okay, again, lesson plan manuals as well. These all help you with doing activities with the task cards. The other piece of working with these is working with your individual dashboards. Every staff member gets their own dashboard. We have a working document that we keep with you. We know that staff can be, have a turnover rate with after school. If people leave, you'll notify us. We deactivate their accounts. Any new people coming in, we will activate their accounts for you. Okay, so everybody will always have their personalized dashboard. So what do those look like? And how do we operate the personal dashboards? Let me jump in here for you and move over to that. This is what your personal dashboard looks like. For you, for all of your staff, you are going to have the Character is Cool tab right here, and you'll have another tablet that looks like STEM Scholastics. All right, now when you launch this open, let's say you're doing Character is Cool. You launch this open. In here is a 25-minute training video. So at any time, if your staff is confused on how to implement Scholastics, your training video is in the dashboard at all times for them. They start here, they learn how do we establish credibility, excitement, everything from the kids, right? We talked about showing the mat and putting it away. How do we educate these kids so that they're ready to play? We're using our lesson plans and the task cards, right? We're using our dashboard. How do we play Scholastics? How do we actually operate this?
Your hand clean now.
Oh.
They're clean now.
There's somebody on here. How do you operate Scholastics? How do we play? Everything is spelled out for you in here with how to set it up, how to use the academic cards. Everything you need to know is in here. Also expansion, right? How do we make it competitive? How do we run a family fitness night with these? All right. If you have a substitute coming in, they don't know what to do. Easy. Scholastics, easy, no brainer. All right. And then lastly, evaluations. If you guys ever want us to do any evaluations, we have monkey surveys where we just put it out to staff and even students where they can put this in there before you start this. And then we can do another survey maybe 6 months down the road, and we can provide you with all those results with any pie charts, graphs, things like that. Everything will be calculated for you. So if you are looking for any evaluations, we obviously can send those your way. But then other ways to evaluate, right? Pedometers, heart rate monitors. If you want to really get deep dive into evaluating, we can obviously work with you on that. So in the dashboard, like I said, you've got your training here. You also have a free curriculum in here. It's a unit from our overall curriculum. So it does say PE, but hey, lesson plans are lesson plans, right? You can ignore some of the stuff you don't need, but the basics are here. Equipment, what are the students going to be able to do, and what does the setup look like? How do we play it? And then in addition, what are our parting thoughts, and what are some other ways we can play that activity? And we just work our way through these lessons. Okay, so definitely some nice quick hitter activities and lessons in here for you. Instruction manuals, right? They get lost, they get torn. There's wear and tear on them. It's always in here for you. So if you do need to jump into your lesson plan manual, it's in here. Now, the other thing that we provide is all of those 26 activities around the mat. Over the years, getting customer feedback, we have heard over time, hey, everything is great. This is perfect. It's everything we need. But we do have some staff that is not excited about demonstrating the activities or the skills or whatever it might be. So what we've done is we've now put in the dashboard a video example of every one of the activities. So what this will do, let me just share my sound with you here. It'll talk about the sportsmanship character. So this specific one has to do with sportsmanship. Some of them have to do with caring and compassion. Some of them are respect, right? We're hitting these character traits, and it will correlate that character trait with the activity so that the students know what to do.
Activity, pair up with a partner with both children in a push-up position facing each other. Stay in the push-up position and high-five your partner, right hand to right hand, then left hand to left hand. One child then tells their partner one.
So you can see it brings them through. Now we talk about sportsmanship, then they do the activity again. So if your staff is uncomfortable demonstrating it, they can play this and then have the students do the activity, or they can use this to teach themselves how to properly show this to the kids. The one thing about your character kit, which is pretty awesome, this is brand new as of a few weeks ago. In your Characters Cool resources, there is a whole mindfulness piece. So if you look here, let's say we go down and we're doing a team ball rotation.
This is a group act.
Okay, this is going to show them how to do team ball rotation. Now, if you go down here and the kids just finished this activity and you go to your mindfulness lessons, task card number 3, team ball rotation, you can start this. It's a 5-minute focus on how does caring and compassion relate to the team ball activity. And then you either have an open discussion or a journal moment with your kids. So you start this up.
Now we are going to expand on how being caring and compassionate can relate to that activity. So there was a quote that went along with that activity. I'm going to read it to you right now. It says, "We could learn a lot from crayons. Some are sharp, some are pretty, some are dull, while others are bright. Some have weird names, but they all have learned to live together in the same box." And this relates to being caring and compassionate because each and every single one of you are special. You all look different, you sound different, you move differently, but you're you. You each have a certain spark or a certain color like the crayons, right? There's something special about each and every one of you, and it is your job in your life to share that with the world. The world wants what you have. And a lot of times as kids, we get made fun of, we get bullied, we get told to dim your color, to not be as bright. And my job, and so many teachers around the world, we want to encourage you to push away that noise. Like, don't listen to what other people.
So I'm not going to let it go too long, but I wanted to give you a nice glimpse of what these lessons look like and how powerful it is for our kids. And then at the end of it, she does have questions. So you either do an open conversation with these kids and really let them dive into these feelings and emotions and applying these to their life, or you can let them just journal this on their own. So every single task card does have a mindfulness lesson that goes along with it, and that is in your dashboard. Okay, so that is how you're operating your dashboard. You find what you need, click on it, whichever kit. So that was character. And then obviously you have the STEM one as well. So if you click on STEM Scholastics, you're going to see the setup. You've got the whole training in here. You've got some lesson plans. You have the instruction manual, how we align to the next generation science standards. And then lastly, these are not split up individually, but these are individual, showing you how to do all the different Scholastics task cards, okay, for this kit. Now, in addition to these two, we do have something called Scholastics University. So when you look at Scholastics University, when you're thinking, okay, task card, games, activities, if you ever end up dipping into our full curriculum, we have a 36-week curriculum that actually works with all of our Scholastics kits. So as you guys hopefully start adding to your collection, when you start getting all of our kits, your programs will have all 36 weeks of the year. You're going to have lesson plans for every single day. And part of that curriculum is using Scholastics University. Now, all of you will have access to Scholastics University. You just want to have access to the curriculum because it wouldn't make sense. You don't have all the kits just yet. But with the Scholastics University, when you see any lesson plan that you might be confused about, you can come into Scholastics University and see an actual visual of what the setup and game should look like. So let's say you're doing a task card activity and you're doing the fitness track. You can come in here and you can see that the fitness track, we take these clips from conferences, workshops, trainings, even some with kids. So you're going to see a variety. And we've taken clips so that you can see how it's set up. So if you look here, it'll show how it's being set up and explained to whoever is going to be playing it. It shows a further instruction and then actually shows them actually playing the activity with instruction going on during it. And then at the end, there's a closing to finish with some parting thoughts. So at any time, if you want to look at any of these, they're in your Scholastics University for even family engagement ideas, warm up and cool down activities, integrating scarf activities. If you have scarves on site, activities you can play with scarves. All of this is in here to help you with the entire program of working with Scholastics. So when all the stuff is set up, you will have 3 tiles in here. You're going to have your character, you're going to have Scholastics University, and then you're also going to have the STEM Scholastics. And like I said, as you progress and you start adding on to your Scholastics kits, you will see that there's a full curriculum outline in here as well. Every day, exactly what you need, all the different activities, and then your references to Scholastics University as well. Okay, so that kind of gives you a nice overview of how are we going to operate this. What are the kits that we have? You've got character that's aligning character traits, right? Wave sync has to do with responsibility. You don't have to think about how to correlate that together. Play the activity so the kids can do it, and then launch Michelle, our mindfulness specialist, to talk to the kids for you about that activity and character trait. Then when you go into your STEM Scholastics, you've got all your cards. You're going to separate those, and the kids will be doing physical activity while they're learning the STEM. And then working with both of these kits, everybody's going to be operating from their individual dashboard, their personalized login, where they'll just click on the tile of whichever kit they're using, in addition to using Scholastics University to help them as they're implementing these kits. Okay, so I'm going to stop share for a minute. And I just want to open up because I know we have about 5 minutes. So I want to see if anybody has any questions about operating these, anything at all that we reviewed. I want to make sure that there's plenty of time for everyone to know what they're going to be, working with, and if they have any questions.
Will all the staff be able to access the dashboard?
Yes, they will be. Every staff member, and anytime you have a staff member that for whatever reason might have to leave, you would let us know that so we can deactivate that account, and then we can set up whoever new is coming in. We can do that as well.
Hey, Jess, I'm working with Yolanda to make sure that we can get all those emails for the people, and we're going to be sending them out soon so that everyone can send the emails so we can get that to everyone too.
Perfect. And that email will have a small, I think it's 4 minutes long. It's a video that I created that shows them exactly how to set up their dashboard. They'll click on a link, they'll enroll, they'll use their email address that is that is on our side, so we know, because we get red flags when an email address is not logged in on our side. That's what prevents any kind of sharing with people who haven't purchased Scholastics. So we have to make sure all those email addresses are logged into access on our side, and then they'll be ready to go. They set up their account and they'll have 3 links: Scholastics University, STEM Scholastics, Character is Cool. They click on it and they just click enroll, and it pops straight into their dashboard.
And I'm learning every day too, because I just started seeing more about Scholastics University. Y'all, that is incredible. We do have the lesson plan book, but it does, it's great because it shows you the pages and everything to go back to that. And that's all the stuff we do in our sessions, in our workshop sessions.
Yeah, so you have, we have lesson plan manuals to work with this. Obviously, you guys have in particular STEM and fitness. Both of those, there are lessons found in our physical activity lesson plan guide for after school. So if you guys are interested in something with that in the future, you do have those free lessons that are in your dashboard right now, but this is going to give you a wider variety. And then 2, I just want to mention this as a side note, as you guys progress and getting more involved with Scholastics, is that we do have these digital specialty programs. So if that mindfulness piece really resonated with you, or if you're looking at running, say, like a martial arts club in your after school programming, what we've done over COVID is we have partnered with specialists throughout the nation. And they are basically providing 30 days of lessons. Every day has a 30 to 40-minute lesson. And once you purchase that, it's a purchase per site. It is yours for life. So there are no annual renewal fees. It's not per child. It's not anything like that. It's one purchase. You've got it for life. So for example, with our martial arts program, at the end of 30 days, your kids actually get their yellow belt certificate from the American Martial Arts Academy. There's 5 senseis that run that. Every 30 to 40-minute lesson in here for these 30 days are pre-recorded. So you never have to worry about, oh, we have someone live coming on this time, but we have a schedule conflict. You don't have to worry about that. You've always got it at your fingertips. That mindfulness person, that the specialist that does the Character is Cool, she has a full mindfulness program. So when you look in here, here's your lesson list. Every single day for 30 days, this is what the kids are learning. In that, how does she start it? She does journaling with the kids, movement. Then she talks to them for the lesson, and then she leads them through a guided meditation. So everything is in all of our specialty programs. You've got your introductory materials, and all 30 days of lessons are right down here. So everything is in one dashboard. You launch open day 1. It's a 30-minute gratitude lesson.
Relax.
And she journals, she goes through movement with them. And then it's the lesson. And then she leads them through the meditation.
Find a good spot.
Yes, this is Annette.
Awesome.
I have a question on how do you recommend cleaning the materials and the mat and things like that?
Absolutely. So as far as the mats go, anything that they're very indestructible. I used to use just Clorox wipes and wipe them down, everything. And like I said, for years, and I've used those mats on asphalt. Those were on asphalt for 8 years straight before I had access to a gym, and they've never ripped or torn, but I've been able to even hose them down. So I would use Clorox wipes. That's the easiest way. And I would just wipe them down with some Clorox wipes. Oh, I thought somebody had a question.
I can also send them that handout that we gave out during COVID with the ways to wipe them down, and I can do that when I get all their email addresses as well, or I can send it to Yolanda.
Yeah, we've got a PDF that shows just some protocols on what to do with Scholastics. If we're still working on spacing with the kids, you can absolutely use the poly spots, separate them, 3 to 6 feet apart from each other. And when they're doing group activities, they're still spaced apart with those poly spots. In addition, I know this isn't ideal, but if you are worried about the constant different hands being on the dice and the bean bags, you can have the kids wear the gloves. Again, that's not ideal, but if it has to happen, you can do it that way. If you want to avoid the gloves, what you can do is on every team, you can create kind of like the star of the team for that day. And that is the only child that's allowed to run up to the mat, roll the dice, and come back. Your next day, you'll choose somebody else, so they know that they'll eventually get to be that star of the team. But if you do want to eliminate a lot of hands touching the same object, you can absolutely do it that way as well. So we'll send you a PDF with some visuals and just some written out suggestions on just kind of some COVID protocols and keeping things clean and trying to do it the most healthy way that we can. Take this off. Any other questions about operating the Scholastics kits, you know, how they're used? I know that the dashboard will get everybody set up with that. But just want to, again, leave it open for if anyone has any specific questions. No, I think we respectfully stayed right on target with our timing, right at the 30-minute mark. I'm pretty punctual on that. So
If I may just make one suggestion, Jess, you're fantastic. Thank you so much. She can say a lot more faster than I can. But I did want to mention one thing when she was talking about the competition and stuff. One of the things that I did with my students was I would make it a best behavior thing. And I would go around and watch all the groups, and they would really exercise and do well for me if I didn't make it a competition and have them race. And I'd say, I'm going to give something like a reward to the best group at the end of the day. And I would have some of my most challenging students really work for that. And that would be our best day sometimes on Friday. And you could even set it up on one side of the room with STEM and the other side with characters cool, and even divide it up by boys and girls or however you wanted to do with that as well. So thank you.
yeah, that's a good idea. Thanks for sharing that, Suzanne. Awesome. Well, I just want to thank everybody. I know Suzanne's got you all taken care of. You know, as a whole, Scholastics team's always here to support all of you and everything that you're doing. And we appreciate all that you do for the kids. If you have any questions or anything like that, I know, you know, you reach out to Suzanne. She'll continue to help you along this journey. But we just want to say thank you so much. We really appreciate your time and trusting in Scholastics to get your kids moving.
Thanks for coming,
Thank you,
Jess.
Suzanne and Jess. We appreciate your time.
Yo, absolutely. Anytime.
Okay, so if we don't have, Annette, do you have anything else you would like to add?
Just if anybody did not receive a kit for whatever reason, please reach out to us so we can try to track it down. We know we sent them to everybody. We're just want to make sure you received it.
The 21st Century High School camp, I know I've heard a lot of people say that they were registering, but I need you to actually register those students and send them. And I put the link in the chat box.
Exactly. And we are fortunate enough, we're going to start coming out again soon. Obviously, we're going to go visit 14 first. All the cohorts are closing out, and then hit some 15. And the next thing we know, 16 will be here. So we look forward to talking to you all on May 3rd. And if you need anything between now and then, please get in touch with us and look for Erica's update on Friday. Thanks a lot and have a good day. Thank you, Suzanne.
Thank you for your purchase, you guys. I know your students are going to love Scholastics like mine did. Thank you for coming, Jess.
Awesome.
That was really
Thanks so much. Thanks, Yolanda. Thanks, Annette. I hope everyone has a good rest
Thank
of your day.
you.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Lonnie.
Bye, Jess. Bye,
Bye.
Suzanne. Bye,
Bye-bye.
Annette.